Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a March reading wrap up, and this is my first wrap up ever, so I'm super duper excited for this, and I'm a little like stepping my toes into the water because I'm not completely sure how to do this, how to do it right. I'm just going to be ranking and showing you guys the books that I read in March. I think I'm going to give like a little bit of information of the books that I did read and some of them, and see where that leads me. But yeah, so let's get started. The first book that I read was Heartstopper, the first graphic novel of the whole Heartstopper world, and this was a reread for me, and I don't know what brought upon this. I think I was just like needing a Heartstopper reread. I was like, wait, I want to reread Heartstopper, so here we are, and I gave this a 4-star. I love Heartstopper and I love the world of Heartstopper. I'm such a huge fan, and a lot of my life I have known about Heartstopper, and I just am so proud of just what it's become and how it's reached so many people, and I just love that it has reached so many people and we get to have the story out into the world. So this one's such a good one. And then the second book I actually have with me right here. It is Intermezzo by Sally Rooney, and this one I ended up DNFing, soft DNFing. I was annotating it and everything. Look at these little tabs. That's so cute of me. I was liking it, but I was also in a slump in the beginning of this month. So I was like, I need to pause this because I was really loving the story, but it was very slow. It's more character driven. And I was like, I just need to step back and read something mindless and something more plot focused, I guess, something to lead me on the trail of getting out of this slump. So I did self DNF this, but I will be coming back to it when I'm in the mood, and I was really enjoying this. I loved the uniqueness of Sally Rooney's writing, and this was my first Sally Rooney book, so I kind of was thrown in there and I didn't know really what to expect, but I am pleasantly surprised with what she kind of does with her characters and how she really tells the story. So this book is about two siblings. One is named Peter, and he's a Dublin lawyer, and he's in his 30s, and he's very like successful in his career, but he has kind of a more unconventional private life, and he kind of is struggling with different relationships in his life with two different women, and it just kind of navigates that and his story and his feelings. And then we follow Ivan, who is younger, and he is 22 years old. I'm reading the back if you can't tell. He's 22 and he's a chess player, and he's very well renowned as a chess player. He is very good at chess, but he's very much more of a loner. He doesn't have too many friends, and he's kind of going from location to location, so he doesn't have a lot of time to make friends or connect with other people, and he's kind of socially awkward, so he is not very good at talking to new people, and when he does, he's like, oh, like that just didn't go well, like we just don't fit together, we don't vibe together. But at one of his chess events, he ends up meeting this older woman, and they kind of intertwine, they kind of become friends, and then they become a little bit more, and we navigate that as well with his life. So that is just the characters that we're following in this book, and I did really love their vibe. I loved, again, Sally Rooney's writing. It just really helped me connect to the characters, so I'm definitely connected to them. I needed a little bit of time. I needed time to really like get into it, so soft enough, but we will be coming back to this one. This book was in a reading vlog, so if you want to go check that out, it's in the description below. Some of these were also in the reading vlog, but if you want to go check that out, you can see my live reactions to these books. But the next book that we read was A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. Yes, we finished ACOTAR. Finished for now. But this book was a roller coaster. I definitely felt all emotions. I do have these photos of me really bawling my eyes out to this book. I felt so much in this book, and it's so hard to even now comprehend all the emotions and kind of like put that together into what happened in this book. All I'm gonna say is that the story is really complex and it has a lot of parts to it. It has a lot of growing. It has so much growing, and I really enjoyed seeing the growth in this book and seeing the character growth. I think that it was so insightful to see different sides of vulnerability and to see different sides of the healing process for honestly everybody, because everyone heals differently. Healing is not linear, and this book really showed that, and I really enjoyed that because it's real and it's raw, and it's not just like, oh, like we try to heal and it all happens at once and we're back to normal and we're like perfect. No, like you struggle, you fall down, you get back up, and then you fall down again. Like things are going to happen. It's not going to be perfect, and you're going to have to keep trying and trying to find the light or really succeed in bettering yourself and not hurting others. I just love Sarah J. Maas's writing. I think it's always wonderful, and I think she always depicts mental health and struggles in such a real and raw way. I loved how she did it in the other books as well. And even though I don't necessarily connect or relate, I don't necessarily relate to the FMC, that doesn't mean I can't empathize with her and see her side of things. I think that everyone makes mistakes, and if you don't, you're not human, and I think that the only thing that you can do after a mistake is try to grow and try to improve yourself and try to stop yourself from hurting people again. I think it's such a well-known thing that hurt people, and this book really portrays that in such a sad but really raw way. I gave this book 5 stars, and we had 2 5 stars this month, which is such a beautiful thing because the 2 books that I ended up getting out of my slump from were 5 stars. What are the odds? That's crazy. But yeah, I loved this book. I loved coming back to the world and the characters. I just miss them so much, and I'm definitely rereading the second book this summer, so hold me to that. But loved this book, and if you loved it too, or if you didn't, give me your thoughts. I love to hear other people's opinions. Okay, and then the next one I don't have physically with me, but it is Play Along by Liz Ford. I loved this book. This book was so fun and so like I just want to wiggle my arms. Like I just want to wiggle my shoulders. That's like how this book made me feel. I just wanted to like really like just laugh and like smile and have fun, and I'm usually not a golden retriever MMC kind of girl, but Isaiah had me. Like he had me, and I felt happy. Like I was like, wow, this is iconic. Like I loved this book, and I don't know what it was, but I think I read it in such a good time, because I think if I didn't read it then, I wouldn't give it what I gave it, and I wouldn't have rated it what I rated it. And I loved this book. All of the kind of tropes in here were so fun to follow. This book is part of the Windy City series, so it's its 4th book? It's the 4th book in the Windy City series, and I really enjoyed these characters. I was like so excited for their book because I've heard such great things about Play Along. It's basically about Kennedy and Isaiah. Kennedy works for the team in more of like the medical field, I think. She works for a boss who is misogynistic and like stuck in his old ways, but I'm like, dude, please grow up. Like it's crazy. So he makes her do like more difficult things, like cleaning up a room that she should not even be cleaning up, and or like doing other work stuff when that's not even her job. And he does this because she's a woman, and it definitely is agitating. She has a lot of rules that she has to follow, and one of those rules is like you can't have any relationship with the hockey players. Is it hockey? No, it's baseball. Baseball players, they're baseball players. She's like, okay, I can't have any relationship with the baseball players. So she kind of stays away. She kind of guards herself. She's very more guarded, and she's more of a black cat, so she's not very open, and she doesn't go out with the team. But then she meets Isaiah out, and on one night in Vegas, they get married. And they have to stay married because a photo is coming out of them and they need to act like this was all planned, because then the boss will fire her if that photo gets out and they don't act like this has been the plan all along, you know? Like, it's such a beautiful story, and I love the growth, and I love Kennedy's growth, and I love Kennedy's backstory. Warms my heart. So I love this book. I gave it 5 stars. So I definitely recommend this one. And then the next book that I read was A Photo Finish. This one is part of the Gold Rush Ranch series, and this is actually the second book. It's not the first book in the series, and I haven't read the first book, but I just wasn't really intrigued with their story. So I wanted to kind of go and see where these characters were, and I was very intrigued because I had heard of Violet in the Chestnut Spring series, so I was very intrigued with her story, and it's basically kind of like a second chance, but more of a fun little kick to it. So this one was actually such a fun read for me because I was just enjoying the time. Like, I wasn't really taking anything too seriously, and I was like, yeah, like I read this book in so fast. I was like the Flash while reading this book because I was like, this is fun, I love this, and I really enjoyed this. So I gave it 4 stars, and I loved the growth, and I loved the plot twist. Okay, the plot twist, I could have never saw it coming. I was like, whoa, I love it. So it made me love the characters even more. I loved the ending, and I gave it a 4 star. It was so good. Okay, and then the last book that we read was the 3rd book in this series, The Front Runner. I always forget what it's called, but I just remembered. So this one is about her friend, Violet's friend. I can't remember their names. You know, I only remember the MMC's name because I called him Stefan, but his name's Steven. And Stefan reminded me of Stefan Salvatore from The Vampire Diaries. So that book was definitely something. I was reading it and I was just like, wow, maybe I'm not in my cowboy romance era right now. And I definitely think that, like, reading is so subjective, and I think that when you're reading something, you need to be in the right mood for it. And I think I just did it 2 times in a row, and I was like, maybe that was not the best idea, because I did give this 3 stars. And I don't think it was anything against the characters or anything like that. I just think it was like personal ways that was kind of going on, and I kind of forget everything that happens. No, I know. Okay, the FMC is a vet for the horses, and they kind of connect through that. He's like the villain in the other books, and they like connect, and they connect more. I don't know much about this book, but I did enjoy it. Gave it 3 stars. It was fun. Those were all the books that I read in March, and this was my first reading wrap-up. I'm so happy that I just did it, and I'm so glad you could be here for my first wrap-up. I hope I did a good job. I will definitely probably improve with telling you guys more about the books, but I just wanted to kind of get it out there and tell you guys, like, hey, I read these. But if you want to go check out more, like, in time details about books that I read, I do have a TikTok, which is also in the description. You can check out my Goodreads. I update that mostly daily, so you can check that out too. My Fable, not too much on there, but that's also in the description, so if you want to go check that out, you can. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you all soon.